Hello, we are Foxworthy, and our informational group presentation is going to be on the process of owning a pet and the responsibilities and pros and cons that come with it. My name is Romola Dada.
I'm Alexa.
My name is Jeremiah Sanchez.
My name is Maritza Yanes.
I'm Matthew Azar.
And I will begin the presentation with the talk of responsibility. So, responsibility. Can you truly take care of your pet? Suppose you want to own a tiger. Can you financially pay for the homing that a tiger will need? Can you pay for treatment if they get sick? Can you pay for the medication that they will need to take over time if they have a chronic illness? Can you responsibly follow the laws according to where you live, or where your state and countries, what laws they have? Because some states and countries do ban certain animals like bulldogs. It's very important, especially with financial and following your laws, to make sure that you are able to follow those and responsibly uphold those. Otherwise, your pet will rightfully be taken away from you. Can you responsibly pay for the type of food that your pet will need? Will your apartment allow such pets to live in said apartment? Physically and emotionally, can you take care of your pet? Can you take your cat or dog for walks? Are you able to spend time and play with them, or at least get a playmate for them so that they don't get depressed? You need to make sure, in order to get a pet, you should morally check if you are responsible enough in these three main categories: financial, laws, and physically and emotionally. Responsibility is a very important part of taking care of a pet, just basically taking care of their well-being, because that's not just a plaything you have in your house, it's a living creature who depends on you for survival, which is why you should also do research on the type of animal you're adopting. For cats, it's considered immoral nowadays to declaw your cat, because it's basically like ripping the nails out of a human and not letting them grow back. That's inhumane. You don't declaw a cat because they can't survive. So, including all of those things that you need to research, you should also research the different kinds of illnesses and kinds of plants they shouldn't interact with, kinds of foods they shouldn't interact with. All these different things go into the responsibility you should consider before thinking about getting a pet. Now, when you're thinking about getting a pet, how do you actually get that pet?
Thank you, Romola, for sharing what you said about responsibility. Pretty much, I'm going to be talking about like pros and cons of having like an animal or owning a pet in general. And there could be many like pros and cons to owning a pet. For the pros, what I put down is companionship. Like, companionship is a major pro of having an animal, because they're always going to be by your side. They're always going to be, like around you, just, giving you that affection or, care, or like even sometimes you don't even feel lonely. And having an animal is great because it just it lowers your stress levels substantially. Definitely another pro would be learning patience. You definitely learn patience once you have an animal, because you have to learn to be calm with the animal, because animals sometimes don't understand what they did wrong. So, I mean, if your dog or your cat or any animals in general, like let's say they like threw up or they pooped in your house, like they don't really understand what they actually did until they see your reaction of like how mad or how frustrated you got with it. But you have to learn patience because they're animals. You see what I'm saying? So you have to be gentle and kind to the animal, because they don't exactly know what they're doing. So that's kind of a part where you're learning patience, and patience is always good to have in your lifetime, because it's going to help you with a task at work or task outside the world. And another pro that we put is improving mental health. It improves mental health because it makes you more calm of a person. It gives you that more relaxed version of yourself. Like, what it does is it makes you from having so much stress throughout the whole entire day. And once you get home, you have your pet, your animal, and they're just laying on you while you're relaxing, watching YouTube or doing whatever you like to do as your hobby. and you just petting them, let alone, is making your whole entire body relaxed and calm, and it doesn't feel the need of being stressed out, or as stressed out as much as you could say. So a lot of people have animals just because it makes them calm and it relaxes them physically and mentally. So now this is a big one. Definitely it's going to be money. Money is a big factor in having an animal because it's pretty much like having another kid. It's like having a young child pretty much, because you have to spend money if you're willing to own an animal, on various things. It's food, it's, maybe toys for the animal, shots, taking them to the vet, substantially like cat litter, things to help the animal, succeed and have a good life. Is a big factor. It's always going to be, a lot of money to have a pet, but people are willing to pay money to own a pet because it's worth it for them, because their pets become family, and they love to have their pets and they treat them like family. So money is a big one. Another one would be time. Time is, I guess you could say, a con, because time is such a valuable aspect in life. We only have so much to spend it on. So we decide, which to choose it on. And when we have an animal, that is very much spending a lot of time on that animal, because we could be doing other things with our life if we would like to, but having an animal, gives you that responsibility of taking care of that animal, and taking care of that animal requires time. So depending on how you look at it, it could be a very good aspect of having a pet, but then again, time is, valuable. It's an invaluable essence. So it goes by quick once you have an animal. And I would definitely say the hardest one of having an animal is once you get to know that animal so well and it becomes like your best friend, and, it becomes part of your family. The worst thing of having an animal, because it sucks. I mean, I've had many animals in my lifetime, and it definitely sucks. Like, I don't even know how to react sometimes. Like, it will literally make you break down. No matter how strong of a person you are, how tough you think you are, if part of your life with that animal, and you see that animal, its life being taken away, like it's a terrible experience. But yeah, I would definitely say that's probably one of the biggest cons, in my opinion, about having an animal, is saying goodbye. And now Alexa is going to be talking about the ways of obtaining it.
Hi, my name's Alexa. I will be talking about ways to obtain an animal, some of the few ways to obtain an animal. I'm going to list them off and then explain, be more specific on how they're used. One is an animal shelter, another one is an animal rescue, and then it's a pet store, breeding, and then strays, and then given. For animal shelter, is an organization that rescues homeless pets. It has a physical location that people can visit and isn't at someone else's home. Typically, the animals are housed in a kennel type environment. Sometimes they have a vet to check on them. There are guidelines in places for adoption when it comes to this. Usually, you have to pay a small fee to get a dog, mostly because they end up neutering the dog, giving it shots, and flea and tick treatments just in case they have them when they are found. They check to make sure that there's nothing wrong with the dog before they end up giving it to you. Shelters require you to have they check your background before you actually allowed to take one of the dogs or anything like that. And you have to, if you already have a pet, they make sure that you bring the existing pet to the shelter to have them interact and make sure that nothing goes wrong. Another way of obtaining a pet is by a rescue, and they are more of a private organization. They are often completely voluntarily volunteers. So they take donations and stuff like that. Sometimes rescues are housed in one of the volunteers' houses because they want to make sure that, because most of the rescues are abused animals, so they want to make sure that it's comfortably brought back to its normal state. Shelter is more difficult than a regular shelter because they do a lot of interviews and background checks to make sure that the person they're going to give the animal to is a good match, and that's what they care about most about. There's also, you might have a period of time where you yourself will foster the animal before they allow you to adopt it. There is fees involved in doing so, and these are more different. They're like reptiles or fishes, stuff like that. They usually don't give puppies or cats because which is where they breed dogs and they have them in horrible conditions, and they don't want that. So pet stores are kind of not allowed. They're not allowed to give out cats and dogs in a sense. Breeders is another way of getting a dog, and those are more professional kind of types where they only breed a specific type of dog, and you will usually, it's best for you to go check out the place where they're being bred and how it's established over there, and also to make sure it's a legitimate breeding place, like they're legit. For a stray dog, or an animal in the sense, it's more of a process because if you find a stray, you usually have to go to a shelter and make sure that you can find its owner. The first thing to do is to find its owner. If the dog does not have a chip or a collar, they usually let you hold on to the dog, but there is a waiting period that you have to let the original owner, come and have time to find the dog. So the waiting period is different for different areas, and after that waiting period is over, you are allowed to keep the dog and do as you can give it away, find an owner, find another place for it to live yourself, or you can. The part was for obtaining dogs, and my name is Alexa. The next speaker will be Maritza, and her part is about health aspects.
Thank you, Alexa. All right, so I'm going to be discussing health aspects, just the general of it. It's going to be about disabilities, chronic illnesses, and general vet visits. So starting off with disabilities, having a pet is already a lot of responsibility, but having a disabled pet is even more responsibility. So having a pet is already a lot of responsibility, but having a disabled pet is even more responsibility. They need constant attention and care to properly take care of their needs. For example, a pet that is missing a leg is so much easier to take care of because he's already trained, independent. He can just roam around. It doesn't really do too much, just not having a leg. But a pet that is blind or deaf is a lot harder to take care of, since you need to help them move around, like communicating the issue. You need proper care with them, and you need to train them, especially if you live in a new place. To train a blind dog to know where the places are at, it's a lot of commitment. Now moving on to chronic illnesses. First of all, the definition of chronic is the course of the disease that lasts more than 3 months. Some examples of chronic illnesses are Alzheimer's, cancer, diabetes. Illness is very difficult for the owner, especially when it comes financially. Going to the vets is already pretty pricey. It's even more pricey when your pet requires weekly or monthly visits. On top of that, it requires special medication to keep them healthy, and that's very, very pricey. I went to the vet 2 weeks ago, and my cat needed some eye drops for his eyes, and that was already $60, and I was like, that's just way too much money. I spent overall $600 on 3 vet visits. It was ridiculous. Now moving on to our general vet visits. General vet visits is what every pet owner goes through, no matter how big, small, young, or old the pet is. For example, when you get a puppy, you need to take them to the vet so it can get its shots and they can get checked to see if they're healthy. Throughout the lifetime of the dog, you have to take them on their yearly vet visits to keep your dog up to date with the shots and make sure they're fully healthy and nothing has come up that is unusual. It is necessary for the owner to keep up with their pet's vet visits. It can get pretty pricey, but at the end of the day, it's best to keep your pet safe and healthy. Once again, thank you guys. My name is Maritza and talked about the health aspects of owning a pet. Matthew will now talk about the health aspects of life and death of a pet.
Thank you, Maritza. Hi, my name is Matthew Azar, and thank you, Maritza, for your excellent presentation and about disabilities and illnesses for pets. I'll be continuing this line of thought into the final days of pets, and as how they can be quite traumatic for both pets and owners as pets enter the final phase of their lives. I'll be covering the three main topics in this area. First, I'll be discussing reasonable accommodations that can extend and prolong the lives of pets. Second, I'll be talking about drug therapies that can alleviate symptoms and provide them with a higher standard of living. And third, I'll be covering their final days and how to humanely end their lives. To start with, reasonable accommodations. Pets can become disabled for a variety of reasons, but one common cause is arthritis. With this, it can be difficult for pets to move around or walk as they used to. However, disabilities can be accommodated with pets receiving specialized equipment that can help them adapt and continue to thrive. As you see on the slide, this dog has arthritis and is, getting a reasonable accommodation to extend his life and give him more mobility. Second, I'd like to discuss drug therapies that can help. Returning to my example about this dog with arthritis, sometimes drug therapies, including in a pill form, can alleviate the symptoms of many diseases, including arthritis. In this way, a dog might even regain the use of their hind legs and not even need the little cart to get around. This might provide the dog with a sense of normalcy and provide the illusion that the dog is okay. And sometimes pets can live even years longer with this method. However, third, I'd like to discuss what happens when these therapies and accommodations no longer help. All pets die, and sometimes it's necessary to help the pet end their life to avoid having their remaining days be in pain. And when this happens, you can bring the pet to the vet, you can stay with them in their final moments and comfort the pet. And with this, the pet peacefully passes and the pain can end after you do reasonable attempts with accommodations and drug therapies. In conclusion, I'd like to say again that I've covered three topics in the life and death portion of this, and my name is Matthew Azar, and I've discussed the transition to pets from life and death. Now, for the conclusion of this presentation, I'd like to state overall that pets are a great way to have companionship, but they require a lot of care, emotional commitment, and physical commitment, among other requirements. Basically, pets are just like humans. The smallest among them, like the Chihuahua, might have the strongest fighting spirit, while large dogs may cower and hide when they're scared. As Mark Twain said, it's not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog. And essentially, it's all about the pets and how they are with us and how we are with them. And in my opinion, in our opinion of the group, they're definitely worth it. My name is Matthew, and I'm here along with Maritza, Jeremiah, Alexa, and Romola. Our name is Foxworthy, and thank you for your time.